And oh my God, I'm not sharing this, but anyway, and
Yes,
and
you are.
and it would be a couple of days in between. Bowel movements, and then there would be a poo explosion.
Explosion.
And literally it was like up my back and in my hair and out it was everything. And that's kind of what the last month has been like. It's been a poo explosion. So figuratively, not literally, the bowel thing that's been taken care of.
Oh, good. That's like
Oh my
we
gosh.
went from soulmates to poo explosion.
And we're only 6 minutes in,
And we're
Bobbi.
in full circle. Okay, yeah, okay.
So before we turn any more people off, let's continue to say hello and welcome
Yes,
everybody who's with us. Awesome.
That's funny. Yeah, usually I'm the cuckoo one.
I know. I was just thinking, we might have a little bit of role reversal today.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That would be. Oh my gosh, I have to be the grounded, sane one.
Yeah. That might be the case. Are you up for it?
Yes.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Be grounded. Okay, I can do this. All right. Okay. Do you want me to say hello to people then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Amanda, hello. Hi, Candace. Hi, Raina. That's such a neat name. Hello, Shirley. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Lorianne. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Carrie. Ooh, I can't move up. Hello, Tony. Whoa, I moved up too much. I just went right past. Hello, Josie, Carrie, Shirley. Thank you. Okie dokie. Everyone wants to know about messages.
Yeah.
Hello, Deidre.
I think Deidre.
Is it Deidre, not Deidre?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and we're not going to shorten your name to D because that's what my brain just said. Just call her D. I don't know who said that. It wasn't me though, dadgummit. Hello, Candace. Will we say hello?
Hi.
I wish I just had someone. I understand that. I think we got to address that soulmate thing. I think we hit some things on people.
Yeah.
Hello, JC. Hello, Donna Ken. Hello, Josie again. Okay, I'm redoing. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Sue.
I think we may have skipped over a couple people. I've also got Amanda and Josie and Lorianne and Nancy. Okay, yep.
And then Marilyn, not Marilyn. She's different. There's Sue, and there's Deidre. Spell it phonetically for me. Hello, Samantha, Josie. You did not jump the gum. It's all good. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Josie again. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Amy. Oh, she laughing at me.
Candace, and we've got Danielle.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're laughing about the poop. That's what she's laughing about. It's almost
the poop.
I see the poop come up the back of the head. Yeah.
You know
what that is? The poop up.
You know what? It's maybe like the psychic antenna.
Oh, yeah, let's say that.
That's where it all came from.
Okay. Everyone tell me what you think about that psychic antenna. Hello, Haley. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Danielle.
Awesome.
Oh, Deidre again.
And Lorianne, I'm so glad Lorianne's just popped on and she said, I've learned so much already. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
I hope so. Golly sakes. Yes. Okie dokie. So, all right. So there are two things that we can talk about today and two things that are actually kind of on the horizon. So we're going to talk about, that's funny. That's not what I thought I was going to say. They actually had mental health in my head.
Pardon me? Mental health?
Mental health.
Yeah. I think that probably goes actually with both of them in a way.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the soulmate moniker. That's a tough one in my opinion, because it makes this idea that there's one person for one person. Gosh, what a terrible idea. To think that if your soulmate passes away, now you're alone forever and ever and ever. That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
And Yeah. So,
Well, though I do want to say, some people, they do feel that that's their one person and that's all they want, and they want to, they aren't interested, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just
no,
want to be clarify that. But yeah, absolutely. Like you're one and done. Or, what if your soulmate is somebody who isn't willing to grow with you? I mean, that's a really challenging. We talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago as well. What do you, if you do, what do you do if your partner isn't going to grow with you?
when you keep growing, then they
Mhm.
might, yeah. And does your soulmate change over time as you change? Because
Mhm.
your soul grows. That's why we're here, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So learning and knowing and knowledging and things and knowledging. Okie dokie. Now I hear Lizzo in my head.
Uh-huh.
Soulmate, oh, love me. She is
Okay.
her own soulmate. Maybe your soulmate is the person in the mirror.
That's a really interesting idea. One of the cards that I have is a soulmate card, and that's often how I see it. It not only can be a connection with somebody else, but it can be your own connection that you
Mhm.
have with your higher self. And that's a really powerful connection too.
I would say so. And to me,
Mhm.
that is a soulmate because as much as I love and adore every living human being that I love here,
Mhm.
there's certain conversations that I have with my spirit guides, which that's not helpful for folks who are super lonely to say, okay, just talk to the people in your head. No.
But I actually see that being a thing of hope as well. It's like, you don't only have to have the people who are physically around you. There's the option to have connections with angels, with spirit guides, with deceased loved ones.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do think is really important is I think there needs to be a balance. That place of connecting, certainly for me with connecting with angels, it is so comfy. It's like being in a cloud of love where you're being held and supported. And the physical reality can feel very cold and very sharp in comparison. And I think it's important to recognize that balance between the two is important too.
And with physical people, these are
Mhm.
tainted souls. They have minds and they've
Mhm.
had experiences, and with the way they look at something might not be the way you look at it. So you might think that's wrong, but that's just the way they're looking at it. Blah, 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 blah. Like it's a whole thing. If
Yeah.
you decide that a person, deceased loved one, or a spirit guide or an angel, you got a pure soul there. You have someone who's just going to talk to you on what you need to know rather
Mhm.
than, oh yeah, but this is how I experience it. So this is my thing. Does that make
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
sense?
that makes sense. And it's so funny. I just came from doing some art with a girlfriend of mine, and we just kind of did our own thing. And as we were doing it, we were talking about things, and two really relevant things came up for me. One, the keeping it together. And the other one was that sometimes when you look at things through broken lenses, what you're seeing is not actually what is there. And I think, it's kind of like broken lenses being traumas that we've experienced or
Mhm.
other things that we've experienced that have hurt us. Those things, when we look through that lens of hurt, what we're seeing is actually different potentially from what's actually there. And so when you are trying to work with a person or heal with a person, and both of you, or at least one of you, is looking through like the lens of something that's broken or needing healing, then you're not actually seeing what's actually there. Does that make
I
sense?
agree. Yeah, absolutely. It's like how you can have 3 people witness a crime and each person takes a different. I actually just said that in a video I filmed this morning. Just kind of funny. That happens all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It comes back around. The things that we're thinking about become relevant.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes it's like, "Well, am I thinking about that or am I supposed to think about that because you guys are gonna put all this look, 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 look in front of me?" Because so often I'll even say it to my clients, I mean nothing to them.
Yep.
Everything is for you people.
Yep.
It's
Yep. That's
ridiculous.
true.
And
That's
you'll have
true.
feeding weeks and things like that. Like every client has this happening, or there's this.
Mhm.
It's so strange how it happens. Okie dokie. And where was that? Jessica. Jessica made a good point. I think she is right.
Yeah.
You can have multiple soulmates, platonic
Yes.
and or romantic. They are part of your soul's contract.
Mhm.
I get that. And then that to me is when we look at it in that sort of way, it's people you're meant to know.
Hmm.
And that is always the play company, stage company in my head, a theater company that does all these different plays, and everyone plays different roles each time. That's
Yes.
who passed the lives and things like that. Like how your daughter used to be your sister. It's because she played that role last time. That's the way I see it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had past, well, not past life experiences, but have witnessed past lives where family members have had different roles and different
Mm,
in my life. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can see why someone bugs you so much.
Right. And I'm looking for it. We kind of passed over it. But Deidre, I think, gave us the proper pronunciation of her
Oh, did
name.
you?
And
Oh,
I'm,
did you?
yeah, and I'm just not seeing it in the messages now. I can't remember exactly where we are, but
So if you're saying it's Deidre and she phonetically told you, hey, it's Deidre, you big dumb Bobby, you, then I completely and absolutely believe you.
okay, I'm just hopeful that I read it right. So awesome. I've noticed that we've had a lot of questions coming up for readings, and on this particular show we don't do readings for people, but we would love, are we going to be answering questions for people today, or are we going to focus on the things that have been kind of coming up?
I think a little bit of both.
All right. Sounds
Possibly.
good.
Yes, like everyone is absolutely welcome to chime in as well.
Mhm.
We are not
Yeah.
omnipotent beings.
Yeah.
We are just, we're just
Mhm.
up the mountain a little bit higher. Not
Yeah.
even, that was a stupid thing to say. I didn't mean it like that. I always think I see spirituality like climbing a mountain.
Mhm.
And then you get to, not prefaces. What's
Oh,
the word?
plateaus. Plateau.
Plateaus.
Yep.
Yes, yes. There's another word that sounds like Anyway, I don't know what it is. Somebody might know. That's the way I always see it. Actually, when I first started doing readings, that's what I would see. I'd see
Mhm.
people with rock climbing equipment standing and staring up at a mountain.
Yeah.
Like, because it does, it feels like a mountain sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? I think that's actually the part that I would take away from it, rather than like being higher is better, is more that there's a lot of challenge that you go through as you grow and develop. It's not easy.
Yeah, to growth is it's not actually higher as in hierarchy. It's higher
Mhm.
than you yourself are raising yourself to a new level.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, and
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I know we're kind of bopping around a little bit with this here, but I've just
Mhm.
noticed Carrie's comment. She said, "You know what's interesting? I'm 100% okay being single in this lifetime. I don't feel I have to have a soulmate in this lifetime. Love myself for me."
So
Um,
funny. We read that at the exact same
oh,
time.
did we?
Yes. Carrie, that is so right and true.
But, I would suggest, like, it sounds like you're referring to romantic soulmate, but I
Mhm.
suspect that there are people in your life that play a soulmate type role. It's just not on a romantic level.
Yeah.
Whether it's kids or friends or parents, soulmate, I think, is so much bigger than romantic partnership.
Well, and I don't know how many men are actually watching us right now,
Mhm.
but you as men, do you feel that on your chest that you need a soulmate, that you have to have a partner? I honestly think that's a little bit socialization of us ladies. That there's
Yeah.
because at a time we actually did need a man. We needed a man even to go outside, for goodness sakes. If a woman was walking by herself, my goodness, what a
To
whole
have To have a bank account, to sign a contract, to have a
own
place to
anything
live,
at
to own a
all.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there were, and it's not that long ago.
No.
My mom was an older parent. She was in her mid-30s when she had me. I was her first. And it was highly unusual for her at 28 to purchase her own home. That was just unheard of in the late 70s for a woman to own a home.
Queen
Isn't that
in the
crazy?
70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
So
shoot.
I mean, like, there are so many things on like a social level that we're
Yeah,
progressing through really quickly.
yeah, yeah.
Lots of changes that are happening, and fortunately, I think we're starting to continue to see more change happening on a social level, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that financial and safety dependence that women once felt has morphed into this idea that
Mhm.
I don't even know why women have that idea.
Mhm.
And even further to what Carrie says, even if you see yourself as the person who actually brings everything that you need, then when you do find somebody, they don't have as much of a row to hoe. They can just exist alongside of you, and then you get to benefit from their existence and they benefit from yours. And it just makes everything so much better in that way. Yeah. And for some reason, my brain, well, my guides they're comparing that to sex.
Okay, we knew we were going to go there at some point. Lay it on us.
Because when you're having sex,
yep,
you're doing what you need to do in order for you to come to a point of completion. Yes, you do care about the other person, obviously, that's completing with you, but to a certain extent, your own needs become paramount to you. And because your needs are paramount to you, it actually helps your partner as well, because they're like, oh, they're into this. I'm into this. This is helping blah, blah, blah. And relationships can be the same sort of thing. No matter what, one of these days we have got to do a full hour on sex.
We do. We really do. It reminds me of ducks flying in the V or not ducks, birds flying in the V formation, because they do that because it supports them and they expend less energy when they fly in the V formation.
Yeah.
So when you have sex, you have to fly in the V formation, friends.
That's so like, whoo, wow. Okay, now I'm going to be flying in the V formation. Now I'm going to be like, Erin, get out of my head. My soulmate connection with you, Erin.
Vern will love me.
Yes, he will. But yeah, we talked about that even before we came on. How we can have a soulmate because we're little psychic ladies. And since the day I met you, what was that, like 15 years ago, 10, 20 years? It was
probably, yeah, it was probably 2007. That was when I really started putting myself out there, and you were already out there. So yeah.
Out there since 1971. Yeah, I would only go to you.
Yeah.
I used to go to you for readings because I would walk around and say, who am I attracted to? Who's enticing me? Who do I want to go towards? And it was always you. And so that makes sense, because that can be a soulmate connection too. Yeah. And okay, I'm actually being told to tell people, don't ignore how you feel. Because this thing can set you on the wrong path so often, and can dismiss people due to things that preconceived notions. So, okay, now mental health. Okay, now that's a humongous one.
It is, and I feel only partially qualified just because I have like a brain, and so qualify from that perspective, but from no other education perspective.
Well, I honestly think you recognize things other people do not.
Right.
And I think that you will go, oh, I have a wound. How does that wound make me feel? Ow.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a long time honing from being a very sensitive person. From it definitely had started manifesting at 9. And I've referenced this a couple of times, that self-awareness is survival, and I'm not being facetious in that comment. It is literally being true. In order to continue to survive and to function, there are all sorts of things that I need to be aware of. When things are starting to fall out of balance, I need to take action on that. And I think that that's just been one of the benefits, but also definitely one of the challenges of being a sensitive person.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's my next one on top of that.
Yeah.
I am learning to do this for myself.
Amazing.
I know. One of the biggest things, though, is actually being okay with doing something for myself. It's almost like I have to say, okay, I'm going to have to lay down for 4 weeks if I don't do this week.
Mm-hmm.
I will get myself to that point almost to make an excuse for myself or to justify taking care of
Mm-hmm.
myself. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And do you think, again, oh my golly, is that a girl thing?
That's so much a thing. This is actually one of the things that I've been working through. So even though this has been part of my life for 30 years, in my early 40s, like this, we're talking about 75% of my life, it's still something that I struggle with too. And one of the big things that I recognize for myself is there is an idea that unless you are sick, you need to keep going. You can't just take time off for like funsies. You have to keep going if you have responsibilities. And as somebody who is self-employed or somebody who's a mother or a parent, there's never going to be a time when everything is done, right? There's never going to be a time. And so like, how do you, in that mindset, how do you take that time that you need for yourself? And so a big part of it is seeing it as being something that's important and that's valid. One of the things that I've recently been introduced to is the idea of sacred rest. And I'm probably going to mess this up because I haven't actually read the book, but part of what the idea is that there are lots of different types of rest that we need. And I know for myself, when I get into a place where I'm needing rest because I'm overstimulated in my brain, I'm overstimulated like emotionally with everything that I've been holding for people, or in this time and space of dysregulation, like everything that I've been perceiving and taking on. Where is it going? Oh yeah. So my my primary rest has been sleep or like vegging out with Netflix or something like that, just not to think. And sometimes that's what's needed, but not all the time. And there is rest in the form of creative rest or social rest, where you're spending time with a friend, but where it's not full of drama or difficulty, where you can just be and laugh and enjoy each other's company. Yeah, so lots of different types of rest, and recognizing what it is that you're needing and what you can give to yourself in a way where you don't feel badly about taking that time for yourself.
Yeah, but figuring out what it is you need to do at that time, that's the
Mhm.
trick. That is absolutely the trick, I find. Because I know with myself,
Mhm.
well, I almost never, well, I do sleep. I
Yep.
do. I really do. I have to. But
Yep.
my body just quit out. But other than that,
Yep.
it is, I'm in a constant state of gotta do, gotta do, gotta do, gotta do, gotta do.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
kind of like I came into this world and said, well, I have to be busy at all times.
Yep.
At all times, I have to be. And I actually don't think that's so bad,
Yep.
really, because I think that's because I'm quite obviously a bit of a fruit fly, and that moves into my fruit flyness. Now, when you're talking about rest, I am seeing people kicking things, which I know that sounds funny,
Kicking
but
things. Okay, tell me more about that.
the expulsion of energy, letting things
Right.
out. Because I like to I have a wave master, which is like a heavy bag that sits on the ground.
Okay.
And I kick and punch that.
Yep.
And I don't do it because I'm frustrated or anything like that. It because I have a brown belt in kung fu
Mhm.
and I'm a yogi. So when I want to move things around, I do it in a physical
Yeah.
kind of way. Because
Yeah.
so yeah, would that be rest, or is that a whole different thing? Is that go after the rest, then you get rid of the stuff? Is that
That's
exploration?
I think that's a really great question. I don't honestly know. I haven't looked enough into it. But one of the things that I would think about with that is that there are rest elements and aspects to it. Like when you're doing that, you're engaged on a physical level, but you're not necessarily on a mental level. You're certainly not in a place where you're holding space for people emotionally. Like that's
Yeah.
time that you're taking for yourself. I think active rest is really important. So to me, like active rest would be things like walking or other forms of exercise, yoga. So yeah, I would say that that's totally an active rest, and totally makes a lot of sense that we need to have that balance too. Um, you know,
Yeah, like a meditation, like almost for me too, it's download too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So,
processing.
I'm looking at people's things and stuff. And for
Yep.
some reason, Rob Drain, I don't know if you were still there, but I can't stop reading that. I don't know why. I keep
Okay.
being brought back to it.
Okay.
On its option of being a good one for the family. Yes. Yes, I actually hear yes and no. Keep an eye on one kid. That's actually like they show you pulling your eyeball out and sticking it on one of your kids. Yeah, something was bugging me, so I had to say that. Now, okay, so I find this interesting. Oh, Deidre, I see it.
Yep, yeah, see it now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh.
Are you okay with addressing some of the comments that people say?
Yeah, yeah, I was just looking at Debbie's, but you go ahead. Who's
And I
pulling
was
you?
looking at Candace's above Debbie's.
Awesome.
The
You go
18
first.
years being a lie.
Oh.
It was the wording that I thought, well, that's interesting, Candace.
You know
I
what?
looked wasted.
I really resonate with that. Maybe not so much with the length of time, but in having ignored yourself, what you've known to be true, or staying in a relationship or a situation or a variety of relationships, and ignoring.
So
I
different. Yeah, because
I
most
feel you.
people say living a lie.
Mhm.
She is saying it as though she personified the lie itself. And I find
Mhm.
that really, really interesting. I think it came out in a certain way because of that. And it
Yeah.
shows self-awareness, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I can understand that Candace is sad, but sometimes sad is actually the first residual feeling to start to
Yeah.
come out. And then after sad, then maybe you're pissed. And then kind of like the 8 stages of grief.
Yeah,
People think that that's the
absolutely.
death of a human, which it is,
Yeah.
but lots of other things die.
Mhm.
Like divorce is like a death.
Yeah.
Selling a house can be like a death. It's
Yeah.
yeah, your
Ending
kids leaving you.
of friendships, of work
Yes,
situations. I mean, there are so many different griefs that we experience, but
yeah, and I think a lot of people in the last 3 years have experienced the lost friendships.
yeah.
Like lifelong friendships. I know
Yeah.
I've experienced 2 friendships lost, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I didn't yeah,
Yeah.
strange, but yeah, yeah, okie dokie.
Yeah.
Alright, now you're
But
looking at
I
sorry.
want to say on the tail end of that, I want to say that although there are friendships that have closed down, it's also opened opportunities for other either new friendships or different friendships to come to life as well. So,
That's what Debbie said.
is it?
It's kind of perfect, actually. 'Cause that's what she just said. You different phases of your life bring different relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually even hear in my head because you outgrow one another,
Yeah.
which too yeah, because actually if you're going this then you can
Yeah.
do that. And I've
Just
seen people do that. They'll show me people do this and then come separately and then come back together because they had
yeah.
to separate to figure it out. So that I find that happens with couples on
Yes.
spiritual journeys.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that in relationships all the time that, when we're feeling like we're connected, we're running parallel to each other. Other times one or both of them are moving off, and then either they keep going in those directions, or one person comes in and the other person goes off, or they both come back in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of opportunity for growth
Oh, we
there.
put a lot of pressure on relationships. Holy
Pardon?
we put so much pressure on relationships.
Don't we?
Oh my golly sakes, yeah.
Like, that's also one of the big things that I see too, and I don't know if this is more for women or if men also experience this as well, but there's the idea that there's one person, and within your partnership and your relationship, that person is going to be your everything. They're going to satisfy all of your needs, and you're going to satisfy all of their needs. And my goodness, what a lot of pressure to
Yeah,
put on
how is
each
that
other,
even possible?
to put on a relationship. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be great if you can share some of that in friendships and family relationships, maybe in work relationships, and then, you have more to bring to your partnership without
Mhm.
putting all of that pressure on?
Or even start to actually put on other people's shoes and
Yeah.
start looking in the way that they're looking and then forgiving them for not knowing what you know
Yeah.
or for being a dum dum or for, because everybody's different. Thank you,
Yeah.
Pete. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Awesome.
Oh, Candace is actually she's going to meet someone sometime soon. And I just saw you looking in the mirror, Candace. So you might not want to meet anybody yet.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. And I love, it's great to see Maxine and Tanya, and Lorianne says here, what you were telling me made so much sense. Although the analogy is quite funny. Good. We've had a couple of funny ones tonight, I hope.
Hope.
Okay, so I'm going to indirectly, Samantha has asked a specific question and she's asking about angels. So I'm going to do a general message. We all have angels with us. We have guardian angels with us. We all have at least two, but I found that we have other angels who will come in at different times in our lives. We can also connect with archangels. Sometimes they will just be there. Other times we can call them in and we can invite them in. So, angels are always around. And one of the things that is incredible and amazing about angels, as well as like guides and deceased loved ones too, is they aren't confined the way that we are by the physical. They can be with so many people at so many different times in so many different places. So you're never taking anything away by asking for help and support if you need it.
Yes, that's the same as deceased loved ones. I always hear people say, I don't want to ask my mom too much because I know she's got to be with my dad. Oh, but she can be with both of you.
Yeah.
Time, and maybe you should spend more time with your dad then. But
right. Then she gets a twofer. She can be with both of you at the same time. I love that.
Yeah. And it's like boom, boom. Yeah. I find too there's a little difference with angels. And it could just be me as the naughty little girl that I am.
Okay. Yeah.
So I find them. And even because when I do my readings, I can see the spirit guides, I can see the people on the other side. If angels show up, which thank you very much, Erin, they're starting to. Erin, I'm catching her. You're going to catch me. They almost look like a heavenly host. That's what I just heard in my head. A heavenly host. I would never say that. I totally understand because it's hard to describe with them.
Yeah.
I find them very, but it's nice, overwhelming.
Yeah.
The only time I think that it's too much is when I think I'm unworthy.
Oh, interesting. So when it's really coming to the forefront, like your stuff, and they're sitting there just holding the space for you to go through your stuff.
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of going, I think my solar plexus are going to explode. It will get like that because I somehow, some way asked for it all to be physical.
Yep.
Yeah, because it said, hey, she's stupid this time. You better give her some physical stuff with your things that you put.
Oh, Bobbi. I don't know why it reminds me of this, but there is in Coombs, which is a fairly touristy kind of area, not far from where we live. There is this great big huge wooden chair, and there is this woman. I think it might even actually be in the shape of a hand. And there's this woman who is sprawled out in it, and she is fully and completely limp and supported by this hand. And that's kind of how I see angels like holding us. It's also something that I've taken a picture of and sent it to the guy that I was with at the time and said, this is how I feel with you. But it's also how angels hold us as well, right? It's just like, this is the space and you can do whatever and we'll just hold this space for you. We'll
and love. You know what? Honestly, I think that's a really, really tough thing for people to come to terms with and to believe to be true. Mm-hmm. And therefore they think they've got to figure the stuff out.
Right.
Rather than just relax and allow.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it is. We, in so many ways, it is unconditional love. And there are very few of us who can say, I have been blessed by the experience of unconditional love.
Raise your hands if you have. Jeez, right? We don't have unconditional love with human beings because the mind is always in there. Mm-hmm. Always, what about me? That's what we are very much like. So I don't even know if you could,
I would say that I have in the relationship that I have with my mom. There's never been any judgment that I've experienced there. And, like when I look at that relationship, I know that I am incredibly blessed in both of the parents that I have. But in this respect, particularly in the relationship that I have with my mom. So perhaps that's part of the reason that it's been easier for me. That and life has in so many ways like pushed me down. And you don't have an option, but you have to, right? Again,
Yeah,
it becomes a survival.
it does become a survival. Yeah, you're right. You have to just, okay, well, I got to figure this out then.
Mhm.
That's what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
you
it's easier
accept the
too.
support that's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, guilty. Now, okay.
Okay, I see little bits and pieces of what Catherine's here. Catherine said she's been told her whole life she is too sensitive. Need your teaching to develop my third eye further. You know what? That's a really challenging one, and I hear that a lot from people who are also sensitive. Is that they've been told that they are too much, and basically what that person is saying is they are saying, "I am disconnected from." What you're experiencing because I don't experience it myself. I don't allow myself to experience it. So what you're experiencing, it's too much for me to handle because I don't have those skills. It's not actually something against you, though it feels like that. And that's likely how it's being delivered to you. But that person doesn't have enough awareness to recognize that they don't experience that. It'd be it'd kind of be like me trying to lift something and saying this thing is impossible to move, and somebody who's stronger comes along and says, "Well, I can move it, no problem." What's wrong with you? Only in the reverse, right? Like, why aren't you strong enough?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, sometimes too, we freak people out.
yeah.
Sometimes actually, even if you're overconfident, you
Mhm.
can freak people out because they recognize in you something that is missing within them. So they
Yeah,
get mad at you for having it.
yeah.
There is that too. But it's interesting. Yeah, too sensitive. I'm
Mhm.
too, yeah, too sensitive is, I've always been sensitive,
Yep.
but never sensitive.
Oh, interesting. Well,
Like,
that might be the allowing
yeah,
yourself.
because I'm physically sensitive. I've never been able to
Mhm,
use soaps and certain products, and I can't wear makeups and things like
mhm.
that 'cause I get little. That's how I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, are you going to be mean to me? Oh yeah, really? I'm a bulldozer.
Oh my gosh, and I would say that we're totally opposite in that, except that I'm physically sensitive too, but, you're gonna be mean to me, I'm just gonna go over here and cry in the corner.
That's why you have me. You know, think, have you ever
Yes.
seen my friend Erin? Is that what happened? I'm coming to your house. Any of my children knows this about me. Knows it
And I
very
am
well.
grateful for you, Bobby.
And I'm grateful. If we're ever in a bar fight, Erin, you just stand behind me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll kick
I'll
your
wave at them like this, and they'll run.
my 5-year-old friend's gonna beat you up. No, I look at my husband. Okie dokie.
Okay, so Brenda said, I always thought your soulmate was the person you chose to spend your life with. I also listened to another psychic, and she said that actually a soulmate is not that. That's true. It's someone you don't want in your life.
You're right. Yeah, I was reading that just as you started reading it too.
Hmm,
Wow,
that's
that is
interesting.
kind of
I haven't had that experience. I mean,
negative.
yes, sometimes soulmates are people who come into our life that we don't want in our life, who teach us lessons in a negative way. I mean, learning comes in all different shapes. Like sometimes it's like a loving learning. Sometimes there's a learning that comes with a lot of hate and a lot of anger, and that's part of what we need to
Because
grow
love and
with.
hate can actually mask each other.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I also, that's negative to me. It really
Yeah.
is. Because anyone you don't want in your life, then walk away. Don't have
Yeah.
them in your life. Don't think about them.
Yeah.
Don't even engage with them. Just they no longer exist and they will disappear.
Yep.
That's it. I get rid of people I don't want. I
Yeah.
just don't think about them anymore, and then I don't
Mhm.
have them anymore. But I think someone you don't, to me too, that is soul contract.
Mhm.
That is more, I had something I need to work through with the soul because he whipped me last time we were on the planet together, and
Mhm.
now this time I didn't tip him when he served my table. So
Yeah.
that's how I see that, but yeah.
Yeah, I see soulmates more as souls in the form of people who we come into this life where we have a connection with them, we're meant to learn something from them, but that we can also learn those same things from other soulmates too. So
Mhm.
maybe we have 300 potential soulmates, but in this lifetime we're only going to interact and engage with 50 of them, remembering that soulmates can be so many different things, and the interaction that we have with a soulmate can be super small.
Mhm.
Like, I
Sure.
think when I used to work at Canadian Tire years and years ago, I worked in customer service, and I had this one woman, and she literally got in my face and she told me she was going to kill me, because because she had gone to another store after being at our store, and they didn't have the thing on hold for her the way that she had expected it to be. So
So
she
she was
came
going
back.
to end your time here?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it was pretty intense. This was somebody, one, that I certainly didn't want to have any interaction with. But, like 20 years later is still in my thoughts and has still formed things for me. She could be a soulmate of mine. Certainly I didn't want her, but I learned a lot from that 5 minutes
yeah, like maybe
exchange that I had.
in a
Yeah.
prior life, she was a soldier that held you and you knew that she planned to kill you and and now you've worked that out. What's wrong with her though? Oh, see
Yeah.
how it go, poor lady.
Yeah, yeah, and so maybe I was meant to be a soulmate in her life to show her that she was wrong.
Maybe, or what a meanie pants she was.
Yeah.
Because I'm certain your sweet, sweet face went, oh, like you changed. And
Yeah,
hopefully that made a katunk in her stomach. So she went,
yeah,
oh, I used my power for evil there. I scared a
right,
little girl.
right,
Jack,
right.
sakes.
Yeah,
I hope she's
yeah,
listening right now.
yeah. Awesome. Oh, cool. Catherine just said, I just told a colleague resting is a verb. I hope it helped him because he has to rest coming up. Yeah, absolutely. Rest is so important and it's so
Yeah.
underappreciated in our
Oh,
society, in our culture, and
all
it's seen as
before
a weakness,
oh,
right?
absolutely it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And I myself saw it as a weakness, but a decade ago
Yeah.
in itself, period. Like
Yeah.
I was so sick once that between yoga classes, I had to go pass out and
Wow.
then get up and I shouldn't have done that because, well, look at our times now. I shouldn't have done that. I probably made people ill. But at
Right.
the time, it was me and my work ethic, and my children needed food in their table, and blah blah blah. I'm a parent, blah 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 blah, all those sorts of things. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't do that. And with Catherine's too, I would actually see your coworker, your colleague, sleeping all the time.
Mm.
See him resting, see him lying out. If you feel, then he will. He might actually because well, if he doesn't listen, they'll knock him on his bottom anyway. So,
Yeah.
hey, come
Yeah. Be preemptive.
around.
Take the nap. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Corinne has had a puppy dog pass.
Yeah. Let me
Now
see.
his brother is grieving. Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah. You might want to get him another heartbeat because
yeah.
as much as because I have my little witch cat right here, but I know we have another cat living with us right now, and she likes that.
Mhm.
He looks at her, they nod, they walk past each other, like, hello, feline, hello, feline. So
Yeah.
animals need because I believe, but there's a lots of lone dogs out there.
Mhm.
But I would assume too that the other dog's going to come back and visit its sibling.
Oh, for sure. I
I
mean,
believe.
this is more your realm than mine, but absolutely. I've had so much experience with deceased pets coming back and
Yeah, and
yeah.
actually, even when I reread it, I see animals I know who have lost animals who,
Mhm.
but sometimes, but as soon as I say that, they show me my black lab
Yeah.
who still cries when we walk now.
Aw.
Because I think somewhere in his head, he thinks when dogs leave the house, they don't come back because we had four,
Right.
now we have two. So, but I'm not sure. But it could be that black labs are also, it's just his black male brothers. I'm assuming it's black lab male brothers. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
when
would
I first I
assume.
went, hmm.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
very
I
good.
would I would assume, and also given the time frame too, it
Oh,
seems
there's
like we
cat.
would be talking about a puppy. Was it a cat?
Yeah, they're cats. Oh, cats.
Oh, okay. All right. Cats. Same thing. I think applies.
But different visit. And it's
Yeah.
funny, I went to Marie, so that makes sense. Maybe I guess I did know.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing, but different kind of visit because a cat's a cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, your cat is probably a mourning its sibling. I have seen that. Yeah, where it can even see their own reflection in the window and get all excited. That's the
yeah.
it's nice to see you too, Chantel.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Chantel, and then there's Chantal.
Oh, Chantal, right? Chantel and Chantal, cool. Yeah, and I was just gonna say, Maxine has a great point too. Life is a forever opportunity. How we embrace or fight that change will take us down new paths or old paths. Good, bad, yin yang. Absolutely.
Totally on the money, and she's right too. That even is in here. I was talking to a client who was like me, receiving information, and the information wasn't getting put in because she was like, "Why am I hurting?" Because if you do that, if you go, "Oh, that's pain," that's it. Boom. Now you're in a pain zone. If you go, oh, "Okay, there's a message being sent my body," and that's yes, messages of either. Yeah, I've read that 3 times now. Messages from either one of my dads. Can't tell. We have to promise to do a reading one coming up.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. Right now, I feel like I've got a broken leg, and with my broken leg, I can.
Erin.
Yeah, I can sit on the couch and we can talk, but readings right now for me are kind of like a marathon. So I just need to heal the broken leg a little bit before we can jump into that one.
Yes, and Pat, they as far as I know, people on the other side do not watch us poo. I can't say 100% of them do not watch us.
Oh, man. Really?
Yeah, but it's not like your dad's not going to stand there and go, "Well, you're doing that all wrong." Anything like that.
Oh man, like is that kind of like some other side kink, like voyeurism?
It was just the one time I was reading somebody, it was a young man, and it was a young man.
Right.
And the young man was like, "Yeah, when you're with your wife," and they showed me, and I was like, "Oh,
okay.
My goodness gracious, did this happen last week?" Sure enough, things like that. That's but otherwise, the physical world thing, no. And I think he only did it just to make his friend uncomfortable.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds like a guy thing to do. And part of the confirmation probably too.
Yeah, the position. And the plate. And the dresser. And yeah.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences when women have asked me about conceiving, and I'm like, whoa, this is way too much information. I don't think that I can share that, but this is what I'm seeing. So I've kind of had to stop those. It's a really difficult message to deliver.
Have you ever read a couple? It amazes me how often their spirit guides will show them having sex to me. And it's like, why? Is it just like making me feel uncomfortable? Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm sure that there are messages in that. I personally think that sex is a healthy part of a relationship, and maybe that's part of where they needed to concentrate on things.
Yes, and sex is very, very important, even sex you have with yourself.
Yes.
Because the expulsion of the energy, it will actually can build up in you. It is like it's a cornerstone to enlightenment. That's actually what I heard in my head.
Well, and there's also the relationship and the connection that you have with your body. Like if you think about it, it can be a very spiritual experience in the same way that you have a physical sexual relationship with your body. You can also have like a spiritual connection with your higher self. They're kind of very similar.
Yeah. And for so many years, we have seen certain parts of our physical body being taboo.
Yeah.
And not even accessible to us. Yes. Like I know in my generation, women do not admit to masturbation. I actually said it out loud.
You did.
Don't do it. But when I watch things with younger women, I have never heard the term. Can I say it?
I think you should. I talked about poo-splosion. I think you should go for it.
Really? This might really upset people. Flick your bean. First I heard, like, What? What?
Oh man.
Wonderful. It shows a stronger sense of I want to say acceptance with sex with
Yeah.
women.
Sexual experience. Ooh.
Yes, I just knocked something. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. You had mentioned that was where your witch cat was. So that's
Yeah,
mostly why I was
she
concerned.
has her back to me because she's. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I've upset her. She wants to get over here. Oh, I have a blanket in her spot. I'm like, oh, that was weird. Okay. All right. Now,
So okay, so
Pat
Pat
was in the bar
Pat's
fight with
gonna
her.
she's gonna jump in the bar fight and Kareen has offered to help as well. I'm good,
Oh,
but I appreciate it with the
Abby!
blinking.
Oh, blink twice. We're not in the same building. I do not have Erin in a cell of any kind. That's right. Soulmates don't have to be a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
It's always difficult when it is family. I'm not. Letting go of people, telling people to
Yes.
go away when it's family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think that's
is
where it
because
is.
of all the strings and things attached.
Yeah.
Then I would actually see them always smiling at you.
That's a really good one.
How can I help you? To have them say that to you over and over and over. It is actually amazing how much we can manipulate people within our own heads.
Mhm.
Like you can even set a pattern. This person acts like this. They're always this way. And
Mhm.
I believe you can actually encourage that behavior to happen within the person, even
Yeah.
though they don't think you're thinking that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can do a lot with the cord cutting and releasing so that the aspects of whatever that person is doing that they don't have the same type of impact on you. It's certainly not the ideal, but if it's in a relationship where you can't end it for some reason, that can be a way to circumvent it as well, is to take
Yeah.
the charge out of it. Family is really tricky because nobody knows how to get under your skin than
Right.
somebody that you've literally known your entire life.
Yeah.
Um,
And it is like past this life with family. The blood that runs through
really?
you. Which
Oh, yes.
yeah, which actually shouldn't even say that because adoptive,
Mhm.
so you're chosen.
Yeah.
We call them chosen family.
Yeah.
So I always put it with blood, but it's people you're stuck with.
So, it's so interesting. You talk about chosen family in that way, but I actually also see chosen family as being our friends.
Yeah.
Friends are the family that we choose. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Like
yeah.
people who have so much trouble with their family that they have to have a chosen family.
Yeah.
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 That's true too. Yeah. We all need
Awesome.
both, I think.
Let's see. Where are we going? I think that basically we have people who are asking for readings here. And we're not going to do those today unless there was somebody that you were really drawn to, Bobbi.
Yeah, because every now and again I look and go, oh,
Yeah.
I think I have
Yeah.
to say that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, Chantel,
Hmm.
yeah, did you read that one too about her missing cat?
Yeah, I did. I did. And Little Bear, I know, has been missing for quite a while. Um, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still seeing your cat being around, physically being here. I
Yeah.
don't see that one having passed. I know that there were two and one that did pass, but I'm still seeing the one who was left. I'm still seeing it being around.
Yeah, I actually what I saw was I thought, "Oh, her cat has come home."
Mm.
And it's on the other side, but it has come home. That's what I immediately thought. But then when we started looking at it, I started seeing a cat who I thought was gone one day
Right?
just walking through my living room. And I was like, "What the heck?" It was like 2 months or something like that. Boom, there it was.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
it could be even that. So
Yeah.
I actually think that cat was living with another family as well as living with me. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing
food here sucks.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm
dude, food over there.
Yeah, I'm hearing keep the faith, and yeah, it's almost like it is gonna just walk right in the door. So yeah, there is an
Yeah,
opportunity
and
there.
yeah, I would even like if not within its soul husk,
Yeah,
out without its soul husk.
within
One,
another.
yeah. But if one is already crossed over, I could be seeing that one.
Mhm.
because I'm seeing a crossed over one, but I'm seeing one come in the living room. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely seeing one alive still. Yeah. Awesome. Well, my friend, how are we feeling?
I am feeling okay. I am feeling that right now we could actually, I don't know, we can't make any promises for next week.
Yeah, I'm not able to promise anything. My energy is just kind of all over the place at the moment. So I'm not taking on any extra. So we're
Yeah.
kind of, so do we want to say that it will either be you and me or it'll be just you?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yes, because that's what I was hearing too.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I actually, well, no, I'll discuss it with you after. I don't want to dangle a carrot. But
Because here at Universal Connections with Oracle Chats, we do not dangle carrots.
We don't dangle carrots.
Just putting it out there.
We know how beta carotene is so very important. We don't just dangle it out there. But yeah, I'm thinking about Mediumship Mondays.
Ooh. All right, you heard it here first. We said we weren't going to dangle the carrot, and Bobbi just dangled the carrot. So I think we should hear in the comments. I know that we've lost a couple of people along the way. It was probably the flicking of the bean, but
I saw some people leave after I said that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't believe that's the first time I've offended people. It's not, is it? I've offended.
It probably won't be the last. So let us know in the comments if you would love to see Bobbi do a Mediumship Monday. Let us know, and that will probably help spill the tea. Debbie, that is so sweet. Debbie said, readings or not, I could listen to you both all day.
That's so nice to hear, because I often wonder if people even want to hear readings or if they care about what we know.
Awesome. It looks like there's lots of support that's coming up for that, Bobbi, and I'm super excited. And I've been on hiatus with my with my connection with intention on Tuesdays, because I've literally disconnected. I'm not sure if I'll be back this week or if it'll be next week, but it will be coming back.
You are leading by example. What Erin is showing everyone is when your brain says, you know what, take some time so you can be the best you can possibly be. Yeah. Erin's listening. Yeah, and that you have to. You know what I was even going to say? It's part of us. It's part of the psychicness. But we are all psychic. Levels of psychic. So we all have to treat ourselves like Erin is treating herself. We would learn from my friend.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I am really, that makes me feel really emotional. I appreciate it.
I'm kissing you right here.
Pardon?
I'm kissing you right here. Right here. Because that's the kind of soulmates we are.
We're third eye kissing soulmates.
We are third eye kissing soulmates. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I get it. We're third eye kissing soulmates. Yes, everyone needs some.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, my friend, what do you think? Shall we
namaste ourselves? We should do it like that. Namaste.
Namaste. like a namaste.
Namaste. Okay. All right. Do you want to lead us?
Pardon? Oh, you want me to lead? Okay, yeah. I can do that. Do that. You ready?
I am ready.
And namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. And somebody will be here next Sunday to connect again, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern.
Thank you. I always put the 3:30 Pacific because I don't want to have to think about where
everybody else is. Yeah, it's okay. I'll do that. All right. We love you all, and we're so grateful for the time that you spent with us this week. Hope you have a fabulous week. We'll see you again soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye.